Anyone who's seen any of my videos would probably call me more of a grumpy old man than new agey. However, after working over 30 years, having a wife and family and all sorts of aspirations, and working hard, I realize you got to take care of yourself. If you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of others. So this isn't new agey at all, but I've got 5 ways where you can focus on your mental health. So I'll do a little bit of a David Letterman countdown. So always be willing. And I think this is pretty important. So don't let fear get in your way. That's the number one thing. And that used to affect me quite a bit. I'd be worried about how I looked, how I sounded, so I wouldn't do something. Most people don't focus on you. Keep that in mind. So if that's ever going to stop you from doing something, you can kind of count on people really not caring. So just go ahead and do it. If it's giving a presentation, if it's getting up to dance, if it's singing karaoke, most people don't care about anything other than what's in the mirror. So you could put that fear aside, but don't let fear get in the way of doing something that you want to do. Also, don't let it push you into doing something you don't want to do. So always be willing to learn. That's an important one. And the next, there's a few in here that kind of come together. So be willing to learn all the time. Listen to somebody else. Challenge your preconceived thoughts. And sometimes to learn, you have to invest the time. And you're gonna have to kind of, you know, Miles is a grumpy old man, and he's been working for over 30 years. I had to put my preconceived notions about artificial intelligence to the side because way back in the Stone Ages, I did take some artificial intelligence programming languages. The world has changed completely. So I had to put my thoughts aside and go back to the start and start to learn about artificial intelligence. And it was the only way I could move forward. So you have to be willing to learn. You have to be willing to invest the time to be successful. Also, be willing to make mistakes. Mistakes happen. It's the only way I really learn. And the only things I can really call my own are my mistakes. And they happen. People will focus on your mistakes often. They'll focus on your mistakes more than your success. But again, if you're not making mistakes, you're not learning, you're not moving forward. Be willing to step up. Volunteer, whether it's volunteering to do a project, volunteer to work overtime. I started a new job a while back and they were moving a data center. And it wasn't my job, it wasn't my team at all, but they were physically moving the data center. I volunteered to help with that. I not only got to know some of the systems better by volunteering, and it was weekend work, and it was night work, and it was through the night work. I got to know the people I was working with better, and the VP who was in charge of that project kind of looked on me a little bit better. So be willing to volunteer. It's going to help you. It's going to help the way people perceive you. Also, in terms of stepping up, I remember way back, I was interviewing for a position with PepsiCo. And they would put people in a room together that were competing for different jobs. So you were in a room with people that may be competing for your job and people that were competing for other jobs. And what they would do, and you could see that there was a one-way glass or a two-way glass, whatever you call it, that mirror where they could see you and you can't see them. So people are looking and observing you. And they would give you a project and a problem to solve. And I got in the room and people weren't stepping up. I didn't really understand the problem, to be honest, but I got up at the whiteboard and I just started writing and leading the team. And it made a difference. I got the job offer for sure. But just being willing to step up and you know that combines the willing to learn, willing to make mistakes as well, and not let fear get in your way. So really the big thing is be willing to just get off your butt, move around, do things. All right, I beat this one to death probably. So next one is always be kind. If not always be kind, And it's difficult to always be kind, and we all get caught up in ourselves, and people rub us the wrong way and things like that. But try, really try. So remember the golden rule. And I'll put my Catholic upbringing to a side because it's also the 11th commandment, right? But treat other people as you want to be treated yourself. So sometimes it's the little things, give someone a seat on the bus or the subway, open a door for someone. But also, it could be professionally encourage someone, whether it's on a project, in a meeting. And I learned something way back in college when I was presenting in front of a class, and it was one of the first times I had to present in front of the class, and I wasn't that sure of the topic I was presenting on. And as I was in the middle of the presentation, I looked at the professor and I stopped cold. And then he kind of opened his eyes, he smiled and he nodded and he leaned forward a little bit, just gave me that view like, yeah, tell me more. So since that motivated me, and I finished the presentation fine, I do that in meetings. When I see people look a little fearful, or if they stop, I just kind of nod my head and I look at them and I smile a little bit like, I'm interested, tell me more. And it kind of works. And it makes me feel good because I feel like I help them out in some small way. So find ways to help other people out. And as I said, it's going to make you feel good. Make time for self-care. This might sound a little new agey. I am not new agey at all, but it's not weird. It's also not selfish. And I went for a long time thinking self-care was selfish. It is not. Think of yourself because, again, you can't help other people out if you're not helping yourself out. You have to take care of yourself. So eat right, move, exercise, get sleep. That is so important. And I fail at that one a lot. And I work on that all the time. And it is something you can work on. Get help when you need it. It could just be trying to figure out how to do something. It could be on a project, but don't be scared to ask for help. When you ask for help, the other person is going to feel really good as well. So keep that in mind and do what you need to do. You do you. My daughter always says that. Okay, you do you. And I do. I'm an IT guy, but I went back and I got a degree in history, and I'm a little bit of a historian now. I volunteer and I spend a lot of time around history. And if you're looking at my other videos, you'll see I've got some history videos up there. I like it. Don't let people walk all over you. Don't be a doormat. And when I say this, I always remember that Wilson Phillips song, Hold On. Don't let people walk all over you. Or I'm from Long Island. Billy Joel is near and dear to my heart, and probably what he says is a little bit more natural for me. Billy Joel ends his concerts by saying, don't take shit from anyone. So don't take any shit from anyone. However, it happens. There are times where people are going to walk over you. You're going to try to be kind, you're going to try to be helpful, and they're going to take advantage of you. Don't let that get to you. But be aware of it. Set boundaries. Set boundaries based on your values. Set boundaries of not being taken advantage of. You want to value yourself. You don't want to just do things for people because you're looking for their approval. Understand your values. Be aware of toxic people. They're out there. They could be bullies. They could be gaslighting you. They could be pushing you to do things that are bad for you. They could be pushing you to do things just for them so that they will be successful. Also, negative people you want to just stay away from. And this last bullet on toxic people and negativity, use a mirror. Look at yourself. Are you toxic? Are you negative? We're not perfect people. If you're exhibiting those behaviors, that's something you want to work on. And my favorite and the number one thing you want to do is never stop fighting. As Jason Nimeth from Galaxy Quest said, never give up, never surrender. So giving up can feel very natural. It can really feel like the most natural thing. When you're trying something, it's hard. It's tiring you out. It's making you feel bad. Your friends are going to encourage you to give up. Also, your enemies are going to encourage you to give up. People are going to pretend to be your friends. and they're going to encourage you to give up. I actually had, and this gets into the workplace bullying, and I've got a video posted for that if you wanted to check it out. But I actually had somebody who stood in my office door at the end of the day, and by the end of the day, I meant 7 p.m., and was trying to encourage me to quit because he was a jerk. So never give up. There's a quote from Stonewall Jackson that I love. When you commit yourself to battle, do so completely. Draw your sword and throw away the scabbard. Just keep at it. And you get to define your own success, nobody else. So success could be that you're posting videos and nobody's watching them, but you enjoy doing it. Or maybe there's just 1 or 2 people out there that are watching and get some value from it, and that's success. You get value from that. So never give up. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, feel free to leave comments and like and subscribe. Thank you for listening.